welcome back, valued viewers, to Crush Improv Plays Dungeons and Dragons. Joined tonight by Dan, Christine, Brooke, and Jordan. I'm Andrew. Al will be with us hopefully in our next session 2 weeks from now. So there. Let's dive right back in. Actually, I believe we ended the last session with dinner at the Lord Mayor Timertico's house, and there had been some things that had been discussed there. Is there anything you wanted to recap that you remember, or that had not been elaborated on enough? It's not quite the end of dinner time yet, so there was a bit more to go. But
all we have written down in terms of our notes is that Lassiter told Timertico that we could possibly use his ship, and that's all we have written down.
I wrote in by hand some things that I will add to our notes. By the way,
could you please? Why don't you, for the audience's sake only, recap?
Yes. So. Just a few things as well, not a ton of stuff, but we tried the whole Kaladeck thing. We talked with Imp following us, and he seemed completely unfazed and unperturbed by that comment. The woman next to me, which I believe is Baroness Tholinar.
It is.
She also is hitting on good old Terragar quite a bit, playing some footsie under the table there, and invited Terragar to a dinner. And then the Lord Lassiter piece with the ship. The only other thing I think I had was that I think the guys are hitting on Sasha, like Lorsk and Erican.
Yep. Lorsk is being very open about it. Torin Erican is not.
Okay. And Letissa just seems happy to be there.
Yeah.
Not the girl from the pirate ship.
Even though she looks identical to her.
So crazy, the similarity. But different.
I'm going to go up to her and shake her to see if she's real.
Yes. See if you can pass your hand through her.
Slap.
No, and she's happy to be there at first, but then over time she pipes up a bit more often, and you can tell that she is an annoying brat. The tone of her comments, the impertinence of her suggestions, the complete lack of empathy for the serving staff, and the idea that there are people that are suffering in different stations in life totally does not occur to her. And at any opportunity, she's curious about you lot because you're not people she has met before. So she wonders aloud about what it's like to be an adventurer and asks you really pointed questions about, do you make money doing that? You know, like, how do you survive doing this thing?
I don't know if I had any more here. Well, maybe I did.
When we get
Christine,
like,
go.
Go ahead.
So can I? Would it be all right if I did a perception check on like the wait staff?
Sure.
I just want to make sure that like this isn't a setup kind of thing. So I just want to take a look and see if I can see any like weird things on them, if there's anything a little bit off. Is that okay?
That is totally okay. Roll your perception.
Oh, did you want more of a recap?
Oh, a nat 20.
Natural 20.
And I do have more recap notes, by the way, if we want more. I had a second page. Yeah.
Okay. So Glada casts an eye over the waitstaff. You see quite clearly they are not carrying any weapons. They definitely look like they are educated from the same school as Jenkus, your butler. They are obsequious but classily so.
What school is that,
they make
Andrew? What's the name of what's the name of that butler school?
Falgar's Emporium of Servantry.
Okay, good.
The servile school. The school of servility.
Servile. Emporium of servitude. That's just so good.
So yeah, you would imagine if they are up to something, it is they are doing it in a way which does not involve stuff they are carrying. They appear to be on the ball and are earning their keep in terms of how they are carrying out their functions. But no, they do not appear to. From what you can see, and you feel like you see pretty good, they don't seem to be harboring any ill intent.
Okay.
They do come and go from the room a lot, like bringing new dishes, removing old dishes, refilling wine, that sort of thing. You have gone through an 8-course meal.
Ooh.
And
Okay,
each
so we're
course-
getting sleepy.
I think
Yeah.
just an FYI, Nima is taking, and she does make this clear. She's like, if I have to go home after this, I might vomit because no one's taken care of the bridge issue. So I'm putting a lot of this away so that I may need to re-eat it later. Thanks for never
Nice.
addressing your elf issue. She makes that kind of,
Huzzah.
she makes that a little pointed.
And okay, so you're bringing that up.
Mhm.
Well, do they have a water taxi that we can use to get
They don't.
to the other side? No.
No, they
There's
don't
not
have anything
not a
like that.
taxi per se, but like people got boats. They got all sorts of little craft
Yeah,
here,
but
hither and dither.
Nima can't be the only elf in this entire town that seems to suffer from violent vomiting every time she needs to cross the very highly used bridge.
Well,
Do
I
you
have
mean
an
the only
idea of
bridge?
something I'd like to do after our dinner.
Ice cream.
Okay,
Vomit.
well, just briefly on that point, Timurtikos will basically say, yes, it's the strangest thing. Of course, the small number of elves that we have here, we would gladly pay to find out what the source of this strange happening is.
How much
It's
would you
clearly
pay?
an abomination. Well, we would bring it to the council, of course. I mean, I couldn't speak for my members here, but I'm sure
Don't
we
forget
could
to look at the
arrive at a
woman when
fair
you say that.
compensation. Yes, as Lady Avessa sips from another glass of wine and says, yes, a fair compensation to be sure.
Okay, cool. Well, we're quite busy, but we do have a personal investment in that situation. So I'm sure we are keen to look into it if the council would support us financially to do so.
And Timurti goes, well, actually, at this point, Erican sort of locks eyes with you and says, I should tell you, we have looked into this before. It's not like we do nothing around here.
What have
we
you
brought the
found?
problem. Well, we brought the problem to the Temple of Bokov, and
Mhm.
they sent some of their mages out, and they looked the thing up and down and cast some incantations and said there was nothing they could do about it. It was a deeply woven charm of some sort, a curse of some sort.
And then you offered no aid or compensation for the small elves, such as a water taxi, some, tax-funded initiative so that poor elves didn't have to vomit every time they crossed the bridge.
You can almost see the tumbleweed roll through the room as you raise that tax-funded proposition.
I see. I see. And just as a clarification, we also brought up the dead body that Joe John's fisherman friends found, and none of them gave a shit.
They assume it is being dealt with by, functionaries at the city
just
watch.
like, meh.
Yeah. I mean, they have not taken a personal interest because it has not touched them personally.
Right.
Um,
Jojo, did you touch the body personally?
I don't know if I did touch the body. I definitely found it.
Mm-hmm.
Which part? Do you remember?
Yeah.
The top or the bottom?
I can't say I got a pretty good look at it because I clearly identified it incorrectly. So I was there, is all I can say.
Okay, fair enough. All right, Turgar, you want to give us the rest?
Yep.
Well, it was just the stuff that happened prior to the meal, which is kind of important. And if
Yes,
anyone's just
we've got
tuning
that written
in,
down, but go for it.
there was the Grazit. We all saw this demon named, we believe, is named Grazit, and it's very dangerous. As well, our ship, or sorry, Glonda's ship, but I like to think it's all of our ship, was destroyed. It seemed through magic sabotage. Green mist enveloped it and basically eroded the ship to a point where it's no longer going to be a viable option for us. And there was one suspect in it, but we're not sure if this is legitimate because it was some drunken guys, the drunken urchin, that told us a woman named Zendros, who's at a thief. Is that right? Is that how?
Tiefling. But
Tiefling,
she
sorry.
Tiefling
Yeah.
just that sold skulls or wanted skulls, nothing to do with
Yeah.
the ship.
No, but she was hovering around the area. That was sort of what they alluded to. And
I thought he was just
and
excited that she existed. Okay.
I think the implication was that she was there.
I like
and looking
that
for
the rumor has
crocodile skulls. That's what
confabulated
it was.
already.
She was
I
looking for
know.
crocodile skulls,
I know.
which
I
we've
thought-
learned since is not really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's just race or xenophobia more than anything.
quite possibly.
Indeed,
And then we
possible.
did tell the Timertikos, I think, right? Did Glonda and Turgar tell them that their ship was magically destroyed? And that's when it was brought up that we need a new ship now and that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody brought it up to Anders, and Anders was the one to do the hum and ha and suggesting that Lassiter has an unfinished obligation to you as adventurers in regards to putting a ship at your disposal.
Okay.
So that's where that came from. Okay. Is there anything else before I lay some more nuggets on you?
Oh, wow. You're going to lay nuggets.
I'm going to lay nuggets at your feet even.
Okay.
All right. Well, at the end of the 8th course, where you are either stuffed to the gills or half stuffed to the gills, assuming you are saving some for later, Timertikos pushes himself back from the table and pats his stomach and says, "Well, that was fine, if I don't say so myself, and I just wanted to say and raise a glass to our and this is like the 7th time he's raised a glass to everybody, so it's kind of a drinking thing as well. But just wanted to raise a glass to our erstwhile adventurers and all of the help they have given us to our fine town." And the assembled people other than you go, "Hear, hear," and drink deeply of their glasses. And you can tell people are starting to yawn. It is a long night, but people continue to chit chat some, and yeah. At this point, Letisa Erikin has been turning to, who is the closest to her, to Nimmerilian. Actually, I think people will probably be sort of moving around the room a bit, so there's now a space between Letisa and Nimmerilian. So she looks at you and says, "So you're an elf? I've never seen an elf before. What do you do? Why did you come here to Saltmarsh?"
Haven't you been listening to anything this entire conversation, young child?
I listen to everything, but not all of it is interesting.
Oh, well, I'm graciously appreciative that you think that my story is interesting, young dear. You see that darling dwarf over there? And she points over to Glonda.
She sort of peeks up over the table and looks at Glonda, yes.
Well, she is an excellent ship hand, and we took note that her captain has been sadly deceased, and so she is the rightful owner of that ship. So we came here to claim it as our own.
Dwarves on the sea? I've never heard of such a thing.
Xenophobic little shit. Sorry, what was that? Oh, is it only humans there? Is that all? Is that the only thing that's allowed on the sea?
Well, everybody knows that dwarves favor the mountains and are deathly
what you read
afraid
from
of water.
fabled books. There are mountain dwarves, but there are plenty of other dwarves around. And Glonda's an incredibly special dwarf as well. She's a bard, you know.
I'm crying at the table, just like overhearing this whole thing. Just like, she does care.
Oh,
she's sort of looking Glonda up and down like, who is this person?
And what about you,
Meanwhile,
young darling? What is your story? Why are you here at all?
well, my brother brought me here as a proper young lady to mix among the high society of Salt Marsh, of course.
And what are
I'm
your
very
aspirations?
well. One day I will be a valued part of the Arakan shipping empire, if I'm not married off to some important lord.
I see. So you hope to join the shipping empire that your brother is in charge of.
Well, nominally, of course. I'm sure it'll only be for a time until a suitable match will be made to join our families into the next echelon of our status.
And then you will simply become a baby making factory?
If I am so blessed. Lady
Ah.
Avessa, is it not true that young ladies are blessed with children? And Lady Avessa says, yes, quite right, blessed with children.
Oh, I see them to be quite a nuisance, and they do take away from one's personal freedoms.
At which point Avessa looks over to you and says, now, dear, that's really rough to say about children. They bring a light into the world.
Glad I was never one. She takes a sip.
Well, Audrey, to your left, turns around and says, well, in my experience at the orphanage, you have to give a little bit of guidance to the children, but they all have such strong promise in them. It is merely a matter of giving them an opportunity.
Oh, Audrey, you speak so kindly about children. I mean not to say that children are the scum of the earth, simply that as a young independent elf, I simply couldn't put aside all of my aspirations to become a mother. But I think what you're doing is incredibly noble for the young orphaned children.
Yes, well, I'd like to think I'm doing a very civic-minded thing with the orphanage. I mean, it is very difficult, of course. It's what with all the needs of the children, and they are so desperately hungry, and we survive on charitable donations, you know. And
Ugh.
you definitely get the sense she's winding up for a
Yep.
spiel. But she says, and the children have learned of your adventures, and it would be a wonderful thing if you were to come by and inspire them with tales of your exploits.
Oh God.
And in
She's
fact,
like looking. She's like looking over at someone else at the table, like someone need me. Someone need me, please.
she pulls out from her satchel. She pulls out what appear to be little armbands, leather thongs with little trinkets adorned on them, and she says, in fact, the children are so enamored of you, we made it a project that they wanted very much to make you something special as a token of thanks from them to you.
Oh, that's too kind, really.
Emerilian, didn't you say you were looking for just that thing?
Oh, dear God, you sleeping outside. No, you're sleeping inside as punishment.
She flips through them and she finds one, and it looks like it's a small piece of wood, and a rune has been etched into it in a very childlike way. You know that
Rune.
that sort of there's some art to it, but really like slapdash kind of art. And then an N has been scratched into it as well, and it's bound with a leather thong that sort of forms kind of an armband, like
Stop saying
something
the
you'd
word
wear
thong,
as a
please.
right, not a thong. What would you call it? You call it a charm bracelet. That's what you would call it.
All right.
A charm thong bracelet.
Oh, great.
Oh, say
So
a
she
bracelet
says,
and not a thong.
so she says, I believe this is the one that little Ella has made for you, Lady Nimralian. She passes it to you.
Like picks it up, like, isn't.
And she leans over and passes one to Glonda and says, to the fierce dwarven bard Glonda, and it's got a G on it. And then she leans over and hands one. Well, has it passed down to Jojon Duran. It's all the same rune. It's an older variant of the common tongue, but the rune is obviously a rune of protection. But it is also then labeled with your initial, and then also one is passed down to Tergar. I think actually you're just on her left anyway, so that's not so hard.
Well, it's very
Passes
generous.
it over.
Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to wear any piece of jewelry that does not represent my god Alona. So I'll have to keep this in my explorer's pack, but I appreciate the gesture.
Says, well, of
Nim
course it's
puts hers
nothing
on.
compared to what you have done for Salt Marsh, but the children were so keen to show their appreciation, and it did keep their little hands busy for a time.
Oh, God,
Andrew,
that's
I'm
adorable.
just gonna very discreetly cast detect magic, if I may,
Okay.
on
You
mine.
may.
I'm
You,
gonna.
you
Sorry, Nim's gonna give her 30 gold.
her eyes light up and says, "Oh, bless you, Lady Nimraelin. That is so generous of you. This will keep us going for at least 6 months. This is far too much. Far too much."
All right, fine, 15. Takes it back.
Ah,
No.
yes, well, as you go to reach for it, she's like, yes, well, I mean, I'm sure there are some other expenses we could find a place for.
Those children. I hope they become very helpful members of society and don't find themselves at a table like this, if you know what I mean.
Dan, you subtly cast your detect magic spell. There is indeed an aura, a slight aura of protection magic
That's
associated.
So it is
cute.
what she claims of it. All right. I too would like to give you some money for this this wonderful gift. I will give you 31 gold pieces.
You old fucker.
Well, she turns her gaze upon Turgar. Let's say that Anders now goes over here to talk to these two guys, and she turns her gaze upon you and says, "Oh, Turgar, your compassion, your kindness is so great. The children will no doubt wish to do something very special for you. Maybe they
need.
could learn a song to sing for you."
Oh, please no.
Just end there. Oh, please no. Nim and Turgar look kind of knowingly and expectantly at both Glonda and Jojo.
Oh, what's that? They're on mute. What's that?
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Do you need more
We really appreciate it.
money?
Glonda and I are very grateful.
Oh.
We just gave them
Glonda,
apparently a year's worth of help, so we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm
are
gonna
very-
flick a copper coin at her.
Oh, don't.
No, I'm
very
kidding.
happy that Glonda or that Nima and Tergar donated on behalf of the group.
We'll
So
get you.
what-
We'll
what
get you a
we
cut.
give-
Yeah.
What we all gave is we're glad that it can help you. From us, from all of us to you. 61 gold pieces.
At which point,
Right.
Lady Avessa says, "Yes, very good of you to donate to the children and bright lights and all that. I think
It's
I
like
need
you
to
have-
dip
It's just like you have that glass of wine as a prop. It's so perfect.
it."
Oh boy.
But
You get to have more fun than we do with all these characters.
So things start to wrap up. People start to gather the things and make yawns and start their excuses, and it's getting late. You guys have been here for a while. The sun has long since set. Happily, the storm that had been raging over the town has since abated. Now it is just merely a drizzle. Coats are found, and as you are heading down there, you're escorted out from the second floor dining room downstairs to the main entry hall. And you do note that Torrin Erican and Sasha Armistar have been secluded in the balcony for some time. You can see them through the glass doors and windows that sit up on the side there. It's a hushed conversation. You can't tell what they're talking about. And they eventually make their way as well. Erican seems to be in a bit of a huff.
Ooh,
Sasha
Erican's in a
appears to
huff.
Sasha appears to be completely nonplussed
He's fun.
in
Yeah.
her
Okay.
attitude. Lady Avessa is super drunk. She's being propped up by one of her curates who is waiting downstairs. And Glenda, you're walking down the stairs with her, and she's muttering as she goes, and she's saying, "Faithless have lost their way. Palor weeping bitter tears, turn their backs on him."
Okay, Grandma.
Paylor?
Well, she is the high priestess of Palor. That is the church that she represents.
Whoa.
And Paylor, we discovered earlier, is in league sort of with JoJo's goddess, correct?
Yeah, they're
in
all
that.
they're all benign. They wish good things for the
Yeah.
world.
So she
Palor
thinks
is
she thinks her god has turned his back on the city.
other way around.
Oh, she thinks that. Oh, okay, thanks.
Well, at least that's what Glenda may be led to believe, because that's what Glenda hears.
That's an interesting thing to follow up.
So Mutter, she puts on a big overcoat and is helped by a curate to a horse and wagon, which goes off. And at the doorway, Lord Mayor Timertikos is glad-handing everybody who's there. He and Flanagan Lorsk share a final couple of jokes, slapping each other on the back. And
Sorry, can we hear one?
says, "You do remember the time that we drained that keg dry on the high plains? Oh yes, that was almost as good as tonight. Oh yes, although the hangover the next day was not to be denied. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh, these guys are party animals.
I know. Wow, right? And Flanagan gives a long, lugubrious look towards Nimralian, and
Lugubrious?
yes, that is the word I used.
You are so full of vocabulary words.
Well, I'll let you Google that one as
I did.
he.
Oh, it's a sad face.
Maybe I have used it improperly.
It says looking sad or dismayed.
You
Mournful.
don't know where I
gloomy.
learned that
You
word.
mean lustrous?
Yeah, let's go with lusty and
Okay.
drinks you in with his eyes. Yeah,
Ugh, who does this?
Lorsk, Flanagan Lorsk.
Oh, Lorsk.
He's the
Oh,
back slapper.
did Sasha not have her way with you tonight? And she walks on by.
has, yeah. Oh well, zing. So he sees himself out, and then it's just you at the doorway, and Timertikos is taking an overlong time shaking Jojandron's hand, and grabbing him by the shoulder and saying, "It's been a long time since the town's had a hero like you. Why, I think of my early days coming here. I certainly haven't had the exploits you have, but, well, I count us very lucky that you've arrived here. You and your companions, of course." Yes.
Well, thank you.
He's got a favorite.
I feel at home here. I'm even considering buying a cottage or something and settling down once this adventure's over.
Oh, well, that would be marvelous. Why, we would be so very lucky if that were the case.
Good for
I
that.
could
Let
make
me
some
know if you
inquiries
see
for
it.
you if you wish. Yes, I will. I'll keep my eyes open and my ears open. Why, maybe there's something on our street even that'll come up one day. Be a little pricey, mind you, but anyway, I'm sure we could find something for a man of your status, of course. I've heard stories about you, young man.
He really likes you.
And with that, you're all able to head on home, just up the street back to your place. No crossing of elf-cursed bridges required.
Can I try going to the bridge though, to like this evening? Like we're not far from
Sure.
it, right?
Yeah, you just
No,
want to
it's
try
just down the
dispel
road.
magic, right?
I just want to try it before I go to bed, and I don't
Yeah,
have
me
to
as
burn
well.
a spell, because it's a big it's a level 3 spell, and I had
It's
prepared it
pretty
too. Is anyone coming with me? Blonda
Sure,
I'll
and
come.
Jojo?
I'll come with you.
And we'll assume that.
Oh yes, I'll come as well.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
I'm not going to cross the bridge, but I'll come
No,
with you.
no, we'll go
Nor
right
am
to
I.
it. So Andrew, I'm gonna. Can we say that we're there? And
Yes, you march on down. Now it's only drizzling, so you don't get very wet by the time you get there. But yeah, as you arrive, it's a lively. You hear a lot of town hubbub. So it's late for the upper class, but just getting started for the middle and lower class. So things are starting to happen, and you can hear all the taverns are carousing, and there's some traffic across the bridge coming and going. So yeah, but you see the bridge doing its stately thing. Glonda, would you like to make a stone cutting check just because?
Hell yeah. Ooh. But it's +7, so 15.
Plus 7, 15. Bridge is again, you've made this roll before, but you cast your eye across it. It's yeah, you never really noticed that the bridge has some pretty fine carving on it actually for, it's not utilitarian. There's some good art on here. And you would even go so far as to say it's of dwarven craftsmanship.
Do I know the era?
You would say this bridge
Genre?
has stood for at least 50 years.
Oh, that's
So,
pretty
so
young.
within this generation, yeah.
What kind of art? Is it like a
So
pattern? Is it like
yeah, it would be spirals and some nature motifs. There are no heads or faces inscribed.
Okay.
So there's nothing personal, but it's a bit more abstract. But it definitely has a sort of natural theme to it.
do I recognize it as some type of symbolism for something in dwarven culture?
No, it doesn't have any symbolism from dwarven culture, but it might have some symbolism in another culture. Like dwarves have their artistic bents, like they can do anything that somebody wants them to do, right? So
Okay.
if somebody said,
Okay.
"I want it to be like this," then that's
So then I'm gonna
doable.
go, hey everybody, check out this carving and let me know if anybody recognizes anything, because I don't, but I think it's kind of funky that it exists.
I have a question for anyone who's smart about this sort of thing. Is the fauna depicted on the bridge endemic to this region?
Ooh.
Oh, very good. Jordan, let's have you make a nature check.
I roll a public D20.
That's not bad. You add anything to that?
Nature check. Have I done that before? Oh, it's
Yeah.
+0.
Plus 0, 12. So you again, it's not super lifelike. Like it is sort of grossly forms of leaves and of clouds and of trees and some animals and such, but it's nothing too fantastical. So it has been given some ornamentation, but it hasn't been yeah, there's a lot of different themes. There's not one like, oh, that's totally like all about dragons. But is it, yeah, you couldn't really tell whether these are animals specific to the area.
Are
Did I
there
do-
ziggurats?
Ziggurats. No, there are no ziggurats that you can recognize. But thank you for keeping on brand.
If I do a perception roll, would that be what, for like going off of what what Glonda told us? Would that be a perception check to see if
It depends what
we
you're
recognizing
trying
to
to find out.
see if it has any cultural meaning to elves or humans, I guess, right?
That would, I would let you roll.
And as I
See.
understand it, didn't this
History.
bridge just get made and then a girl fell off of it and cursed it or something? Like it wasn't that the creation, was it formed as a cursed bridge, or was it a bridge that was then cursed? Do we know that?
No.
You do not know. You only know the very barest bones of the rumor.
And the rumor is, though, that a girl fell to her death and a curse was associated with that fall, not necessarily with the bridge.
Correct.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
also it's worth noting the bridge is only about, the span is about 25 to 30 feet from the water.
Right.
It's not a big, like, giant tall ridge.
It's a survivable fall.
Totally into water.
And yet she died.
So they
So
say,
the rumor
though.
goes.
So they say. So what
Oh,
am I rolling here?
so you say so they say, but then if someone says that a tiefling's bad, you're
Kill
all
'em.
for it.
I say we go and we kill her, and then we ask questions. What am I rolling here, Andrew?
So
History.
what do you want to establish? You
History?
want
Mhm.
History, yeah,
Well,
if
I
it
think
has-
what Glonda was saying was that sort of she noticed that there seemed to be symbols on there that she didn't have any connection to. So would that be a history check?
it would definitely be history. Yeah.
Okay, so let's roll for history. And that would be a 22.
22. Well, you've been around.
have.
And you do know that I mean, you're not familiar with the craftsman, but you are familiar with the art. And it is definitely your feeling is that it would definitely have been commissioned this way, that when they, I mean, in a way it's kind of like cottage kitsch but put into bridge form. So instead of just having normal pilings, somebody threw some money to gussy it up a bit and make it prettier.
Okay.
And they didn't have a lot of creativity, so it's like it's pretty, but it's not referential. Like it doesn't honor any particular person. It doesn't
Yeah.
honor
Generic.
a god.
It's kind
I
of
love
generic.
kitschy. That's funny. Cottage
Something you'd
kitschy.
find at
Great.
IKEA. It's an IKEA
Yeah,
bridge.
not going to offend anybody, but also, you know,
Like these
nice to look at
posters.
in a way.
Is there
Those
can
posters,
I
yeah.
detect whether or not the bridge was put together with the use of an Allen key?
Well, Glonda's stone cunning roll is enough for that. No, definitely no Allen keys required in that.
Right. Let's dispel this magic.
Okay, so Andrew, I've never used this spell before.
Sure.
I
haven't.
cast it, but then there's a whole bunch of stuff that I'm gonna get you to help me with here. So I cast it. It says any magical effect, any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target
Yes, just
ends the
ends.
magic.
Yep.
But if it's a spell of 4th or higher, an ability
let me
check
walk
has
you-
to be used. Yeah. Okay.
Let me walk you through it. So Brooke, Nimmeralian has some 4th level spells now, right?
Correct.
And what's an example of one of those spells?
Divination.
Divination. And it takes you a little while to cast that, I think. Hey.
It's a ritual.
Okay. So let's say you're busily casting divination, and Dan is like, "Wait a second, I can't let her figure this out. I can't let her possibly use this spell." So he casts Dispel Magic. What you would have to do is make, if it was a 3rd level spell that Nimmeralian was casting, it would just end. It would just be like, boom, done, never
Right.
happened, and Nimmeralian would probably be pissed off.
Yeah.
But because it's a 4th level spell, you actually have to make a roll, and the difficulty is 10 plus the spell's level. So you would have to roll a 14 or more with your ability check on, I think it's
I
wisdom.
would.
So adding
I
your
would.
wisdom. No,
He would.
he would. He would
He'd
just
have to-
roll a roll of 14 or more.
Oh, I have to roll
With-
that.
Yes.
And then it
Oh,
would
okay.
work.
And then he would, if he successfully rolled higher than the 14, it would end your spell.
Okay. Then I suggest we go to sleep.
Why?
Well, my darling,
Oh, for a portent.
my portents only go to 13.
Well, why not this? We're here. Why don't we cast it now? If I'm not successful, we can come back tomorrow and cast it again.
Excellent choice. I also have divination that I could do as a ritual as well if we wanted to learn more about this, I suppose. I
All
didn't
right.
really think of that either.
I'm casting Dispel Magic on the bridge.
Dan Lajoie, please roll me a d20. Add your wisdom.
Oh, so it
bonus.
is. There's yeah.
Mhm.
All right.
More than 3rd level.
Otherwise, the Bacobs would have gotten done with it.
That would be a 7.
Mm.
Well, it could be, no, I don't even know how to answer that question. So you cast your spell, you think you cast it successfully, you have no idea whether something has occurred.
Well, I'm going to
Alright.
walk across the bridge.
Dan Lajoie, please have Tirgar make me a
Tirgar.
Constitution saving throw.
May I do divination then before sleep as a ritual?
Oh, I'm good.
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Dan, you feel the sensation that you normally feel when you walk across this accursed bridge. So
I'm
your
okay.
spell has clearly not had an effect,
Okay.
Okay.
but
And
it does not girdle your guts to make you barf.
Okay. And I'm coming back. Do I have to roll again to come back? I'm just going to the middle.
Yeah.
I'm going to the middle. I'm going to the middle,
Okay,
and I'm coming
okay.
back. I'm not going all the way.
Okay. Perfect.
does the group agree that I could ask a god or a god servant? I'm going to be put into contact with them to ask this deep question about this bridge. I'm thinking to word it as such that if we know that Tergar will be powerful enough, rolling a 14 or higher, tomorrow to dispel this magic, will it be successful? Or should I ask something like, how can one be successful? I mean, it's not necessarily a yes or no. They can come back
Mhm.
as a rhyme or an omen. So what are we
Could you
feeling?
cast it twice if we don't like the first
Yes,
answer?
however, the second roll has 25% chance of just being made up.
Oh,
Mm.
What can you ask? Like, can you just ask what happened to the bridge? Like, why is it cursed?
Yeah, no, it's more about a thing that'll happen in the next 7 days because I'm divinating into the
Right.
future.
I see.
Mhm.
Well, why don't you ask if our attempts were successful?
If our attempt tomorrow will be successful,
Yeah.
because clearly it wasn't. Yes. Okay, sure.
Like, if
All right.
if Terragar's thing will work, is that
Yes,
that a
I
waste of time?
understand. No, I think it's reasonable to see because yes. All right. Now give me time.
Okay. So I'm going to say that you don't do this here because the spell needs incense and a sacrificial
Sure, she goes
offering
back to
appropriate to your
yeah.
religion, and you
Oh,
got
she
to
doesn't have a
mark
religion,
off
so she
25 gold
sacrifices.
pieces because it's pretty
No
pricey.
sweat. She's rich.
She's
Okay.
rich.
Well then,
And
should I use it now? If we just think we're gonna try it again with my portent, I mean, whatever. It's 25 gold. I don't give a crap. Do we want to?
yeah, do it.
Okay. I'm gonna lower my thing by 25 gold.
We'll pitch in.
Yeah,
And-
actually, do you want to cover this, Jojo?
Oh, look! Oh.
Just
he disappeared. Just. She was asking you for money.
Yes. How much do you need?
25 gold, please.
Sure, I'll cover 20. Anyone else want to cover the last 5?
I'll do it.
Oh,
There you go.
such
That's
a
amazing.
kind.
If you're gonna
Such-
cover 5, can you cover 6? I'll do 19.
Nope.
that is classic Joe Jongeron negotiating
Classic
style.
JoJo.
That's right.
Fantastic.
That's funny.
All right, what is the describe for me, if you will, what your divination setup looks like and how
Right.
it works, and
Yeah.
what you are going to ask to this this mystical omen given creature.
Wonderful. Let me just have a quick look here at what I've chosen. Okay. Okay. So her setup is because her religion is more so about knowledge and books, and that she believes that like librarians and libraries are more like temples to her, and that she's very she believes in knowledge keeping and things like that. So she's got, rather than like runes and stones scattered around her, she has her best and most favorite books that she's kept with her, and her spell books and sand ballots and Untekas as well, because she sees them as very powerful and very special to her. And she dresses in just a simple nightgown so that she's very focused on what she's doing, and she's not trying to make anything look special, but she just still has a cute little braid in her hair, just like cute little braids that go around. And she, for the offering, she actually takes out several pages, which is very challenging for her to do, from the book with the unknown language that she has not yet. So we got a couple books, and one is the book with an unknown language that we can't decipher. And she's just selectively taken 2 or 3 pages from it to never know what they will ever mean, which is very challenging for her and is quite a sacrifice for, I think, Dimraelian to just give up on ever knowing what those things were. And she burns them as if she would burn incense. Like she properly rolls them and maybe mixes them with some nice herbs and that kind of thing. But that's essentially her offering. I mean, it's challenging to say who she reaches out to as a god. However, I think that there are plenty of deities out there that are more on the knowledge side. So I mean, I don't know the lore D&D, but I feel like she'd speak to anyone in that divination realm. Do you have any So thoughts on that?
Well, I think because you've indicated that Nimralian's not a religious character, she doesn't worship a god, she worships knowledge. I think you could probably be sort of casting your question out to a collective unconscious.
Cool.
So
I love that.
You're
The
kind of
universe,
reaching out,
essentially.
exactly,
Yeah.
seeing what the universe,
I
will
love that.
divine for you. All right.
That's beautiful.
And I'm going to suggest that also this is kind of the first time you've used this spell.
This is a big deal for her.
Yeah. So you've theorized how this could work, but this is the first time you put it into practice. So the way you think this is going to work is if you write your question onto another piece of paper and then have this be consumed in your sacrificial offering, your incense, and the brazier of fire.
I already have a brass brazier, so
see how they all come in useful
we're
again.
good to go there.
What will result is another document which will have your answer potentially inscribed upon it.
Okay.
So what is the question that you're going to ask the collective unconscious?
So she takes out a quill and she has I wish she still had. I thought for a while she had like ogre guts or something in a little container.
I think she did.
So I think she's going to use that as ink because again, it's just something it's just her. It's just like, what can I do with this? I'll try this. I'll try that. And I think she writes, will my companion Tergar be successful in the elimination of the curse that what's the word I want? The curse that pardon me?
Has plagued the bridge.
That plagues the, and then she names the very specific bridge of the very, if she could, she would give like geolocations so that it's not misinterpreted, but that doesn't exist.
The shark fin bridge of Salt
Yes,
Marsh.
the shark of Salt Marsh. And bring order to the realm of elves once again.
Okay. So you cast your incense into the flames. The pages are consumed in an eerie greeny blue fire, and a gray blue smoke sort of accumulates as the fire dies down, and it covers your brazier, and eventually it dissipates, and all that's left is a single folded piece of papyrus.
And she literally gasps in shock when it appears because she's never seen that before. She's like, it's like magic. Like, if Blonda was nearby, they'd go, oh, would you? Oh, do you want it? Will I? Oh. Okay, and then she like shakingly and like it's not with nerves, it's with a pure excitement. She opens it up.
Opens the papyrus, and in elegant script written in the same inky oozy substance that you use to write your request. It says the druid's magic can only dispel the curse for a time.
That's all it says.
That's all it says.
For a time.
And I should note that eternity is a time.
Well,
true.
You make a very good point.
Now it does speak in what is the word that it says? It speaks in prose. So yeah, it can be up for interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The druid. Do we know that they're talking about Tergar?
Right?
Cryptic rhymes.
Like, I don't like to be labeled.
Well, yeah, I mean, I made it very clear that I was speaking about Tergar.
Okay.
But you're right. That's just
But
saying
there could be
druid.
another Tergar in the town.
Wow, so it's not going to be powerful enough. Man, this is a tricky thing to solve. How in the world would
Well, let's give it a shot tomorrow and see how long it works for, huh?
To see what this time may actually be. Yeah, sure.
It's like the time. What if they meant like 3:25 p.m.?
Should we head back, sleep, recharge?
Well, we're already back. Yeah, we're already back at home. I did this basically in the upstairs room of the home.
So let's go to sleep. Let's take a break for real.
Sorry, I can only sleep in unscented environments. Can we open a couple windows?
Oh, I'm upstairs. You can go downstairs.
Okay,
mister.
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, happily it rises up.
This was a no
quick,
smoking hotel.
Nim does open the windows and she feels embarrassed. That she...
quick housekeeping question: is anybody wearing the charm bracelets that Audrey gave them? Okay.
I put mine on,
Nim
yes.
put hers on.
Yeah.
Mine's
Oh,
in
I
my
should put that in
bag.
my inventory, or
You should.
I never took it off.
Nice. While you were wearing it, once per day, you may choose to let it give you a +1 bonus to any saving throw.
oh,
Oh,
Where do
the
we
little
put that?
orphan.
do we put that in our weapons and armor, or is it in our?
Adorable.
Yes, yes, you can put it down as a charm bracelet of protection, and but it normally a item of protection gives you a +1 bonus to your armor class. In this case, it only gives you the +1 bonus to your saving throw,
Plus
and it can only
one
be used once per day,
saving
Can I put it on?
if you like.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Oh,
You
charm
hear everyone
bracelet of
going,
what?
"Wow, these are so cool, Jojandra. Why don't you put this on?" You're like, "Well, fine."
So sorry,
Yeah.
what is it?
Charm bracelet
you're
of
gonna
what?
have some mangry
Protection.
god dreams tonight, though.
And it's
You'll be
in
pissed at you.
anything like any saving throw +1
Any saving throw
once a day.
I mean, but only once per day. So
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we don't have to apply to anything. Just if we have a saving throw, we can choose to use it or not.
correct.
Okay,
Is there a place on the sheet that'd be good for that?
I put it in the weapons and armor box. So like line, what is that? Like 35 on my sheet
Okay.
over an AK column AK.
Oh yeah, that's clever.
Anywhere that you will remember that it is where
Plus
you want to put it.
1 on 1 saving throw per day.
Correct.
You know what? That's not a lot of space. I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna move
I think
that.
people would like to know more about where you're putting it on your character sheet, Dan.
Well, folks, let me.
Dan, I followed you. I put it in weapons and armors, but I just put charm bracelet, and then I inserted a note, and then in the note I said charm
That's a
bracelet of
good-
protection, and then I put
Oh,
+1
that's-
on saving throw once
that-
per day.
I love
I can
that.
screen share if
Could you? Yeah.
One bonus for saving throw per day.
Christine, that is some next level Google food.
You are
right
such
there.
a
It's
government
incredible.
worker. I love it. Government workers and their Excel abilities are just top notch.
Are you capable of doing a screencastify just as a walkthrough so I can see how you did it?
Yeah. Let me just open all my banking info first.
And with that, why don't we let our characters get a well-earned long rest, digesting the 8-course meal from Lord Mayor Timertikos, and we'll do a 5-minute break and come back. Sound like a
Yay.
plan? Awesome.
5 minutes.
We're back. We're only 3 now because some people.
4.
Ah,
Hey!
Incredible.
Launched back in. And
Hmm.
Jordan, I'm sure, is here in spirit. He'll be joining us
In
very
spirit.
shortly. Right. Is there anything else you wanted to do before heading into bed? I mean, you hear some noises upstairs thumping around. Smells weird.
I wasn't thumping. Oh
No,
well,
it's
guess
very-
the thumping of the spell books being placed on the floor. That would be thumpy.
That could be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just to move the plot along. I'm gonna say you guys turn in and have a good sleep.
yeah.
Although it's that stomach churning digestion of so many different things. But yeah, you turn in
Nim
and wake up
puts
the next morning.
her leftovers in the ice box 'cause she forgot that she wasn't going to have to cross over the bridge. So now she just has extra goodies. In fact, she offered, actually, you know what? When they come home late, she offers them to Jensen and says, please, please, or Jenkins, or just it's like, please eat. Have you eaten today? Have this, please.
He looks at your careful collection of high-end food leftovers and says, delightful, ma'am. Yes, I will bring it home to my family. I'm sure we will all delight.
Well, if you don't want them, please, I'll eat them tomorrow. Don't feel like you have to eat them by any means.
Oh.
I will eat them. Don't worry about
My
it.
lady, they were clearly intended for you, and it might not be proper for me to take them. So I thank you for your kind consideration.
Right. And then she drools all night. Here are her new portents.
Bring it
Ooh,
on.
8 and 19.
Swing. Very nice.
19's gonna help us with the who knows how long
Oh, cool.
the spell will be. I hate that it's so powerful that even that level spell is not gonna get rid of it. Oh, I hate it.
Super neat. How do I
Mm.
break this?
The weather continues to be drizzly and slightly overcast. Periods of rain. The wind is coming in off of from the sea onto shore, not blowing out to sea. You wake up with a gray light of day. Curtains fluttering in the wind. Who left that window open? Why is all this salt water on my face? You do your normal ablutions and have a meal, and then you have all collected in your parlor. What would you like to accomplish today?
Well, this is super cool. Okay, anyway. Look, this should be in the D&D game. Anyway,
There's a remove curse spell.
that you have?
There sure is.
Well, I can learn it because there was one spell that I hadn't given myself one new spell since we leveled up. It's a level 3 spell.
I like that.
The curse affecting one creature or object ends. If an object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the object. What? I don't get that.
Right. So that's a very specific scenario where you could pick up a cursed magic sword, and then that person who is now cursed will refuse to drop it. So you could cast
that
it
is
on the
very
item. It's still
specific.
cursed, but they could then drop it.
Okay, well, sure, I could have learned that overnight because after she heard that from her divination experience, she was like, "Ah!" And so she looked into this spell and then learned it herself because she was that. Is that okay, DM? Because she hasn't learned. I have an extra slot that I'm just like extra spell ?
Okay, I'm glad we're bringing it up now because I wouldn't want you to go too far in and be like, oh, I forgot to learn that extra spell. Here's the one I will have learned. So yeah, totally fine. And it's been an ongoing thing, this cursed bridge. So I think it makes a lot of sense that you have put your mind towards the removal of that.
All right. And FYI, DM, I wasn't gonna like throw that out in battle and be like,
I
"Can
know.
I say da 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 da?" I would have like had to have learned it the morning of moving forward. But I appreciate
Yeah.
that you're on it. Okay,
Totally fine.
I will add it.
Okay. So yeah, what do you want to do then? Now that everybody has returned.
Well, should we head down while we're on this line of pursuit? Well, before we do that, maybe just quickly map out what we might like to do today. We would like to go to the bridge. Do we want to follow up with Anders about the ship, or was it Lassiter? Sorry, that was mentioning the ship.
Anders suggested that Lord Lassiter might have the ship that you could use.
So should we follow up on that lead and go to Lassiter's to see if
Yeah.
he can give us that?
Yeah, I'll try my remove curse before you do your thing, if that's okay, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's kind of it, right? Like I don't know of any other leads of things that are open-ended for us in town right now for us to do.
All right, let's do it.
Cool. So let me throw us on.
So start with the bridge, right? Is that where we're going? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Start with the bridge. Okay. So you head yourselves down to the old bridge. It's a lot like last night, except now kind of gray sky instead of black sky because it's still drizzling and overcast. I guess it's probably the equivalent of around 9 o'clock in the morning. And it is, there are people coming and going, mostly going down south to the Green Market. That's where the commoners would go and buy and sell fruit and vegetables, livestock, they're the daily things of life. So yeah, you find yourself looking at Sharkbrain Bridge. Again, people coming and going across it.
All right,
Would you like to
I
do?
would like to cast remove curse. I will place my hand on the stone. Actually, she probably walks to the center of the bridge, and probably I'll do a constant. Well, she hasn't walked across the bridge yet, but I'll just for lulz show you how her belly is.
Let's
Wow,
see, that would be fun. Do you want to use your, no, too late.
No, not at all. 13.
You have to make this a disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
So that was really great. That, not so much.
All her breakfast projectile launches over the bridge down to the water below. She's like bowled over, like breathing heavily and deeply and pale and sweating. And she like checks her bag and notices she still has some croissants in the side. And she's like, okay, that's really
Did it
good."
perhaps come out of both ends?
Oh, now it's only ever
one.
been vomiting.
It's a
It's
one.
only ever been vomiting.
You did roll a natural one.
Don't you make Nim shit her pants
Glanda's heart
above
is
that.
Glanda's heart's breaking right now because I know how good that bakery food is. I'm like, oh no.
So she like takes some deep breaths and like swallows, and I think probably takes water from her little like water thing and like sloshes around and spits.
Jordan,
Really nauseous.
you're probably there on the edge of the bridge, and Jeb and Corco are there casting their lines away, and they look at this display and just like give you like the shaking of the head, like, and it's the universal sign of that woman just can't hold her liquor.
Do these fellas have anything to say about the bridge by any chance? They've been here a long time.
They have been here a long time.
You didn't ask them that
well-
before when you were fishing with them?
I don't know. We mostly
Didn't come
talked
up.
about the fish, I think.
Yeah.
So true. They are notably men of few words. When they do talk, it's in sort of one sentence word or one word sentences, or yeah, exactly. You could see them looking very well lined up against a fence, drinking from cans of Bud, something like that. So what are you asking them?
How long had they been fishing at this bridge?
Yep. Jeb looks at Corco. Corco looks at Jeb, says, "Well, ever since I retired, nigh on 20 years now."
So you the bridge is about 10 years old when you started fishing here.
They give a chuckle. You're obviously, giving them a compliment on how young they look, and they say, "Well, that bridge been here for what, maybe going on 50 years now. They were
50.
building it when I was but a child."
Oh, okay.
You remember it being built?
Yeah, I do. There's just a wooden thing before. Then they rebuilt it in stone.
Do you remember who built it in stone?
Well, that was what was the mayor before Timurtikos? That was his project, his big old legacy. His name was Kamerzan.
Do you know if the bridge was always cursed?
Cursed? What are you talking about, cursed?
Elves can't go across it without feeling nauseated.
And Corco looks at Jeb. Jeb looks at Corco. Is that true? And Corco gives a nod, like, yeah, that's what I heard. He goes, well, I guess maybe it had something to do with that kerfuffle some years back.
Oh, remind me what that kerfuffle was.
At which point our camera will pan back to Nimmeralian, who has recovered herself on top of the shark fin bridge.
I am riveted by this conversation, though. Like, this
Mm,
is so exciting.
your spell's anticlimactic now.
I know. Okay.
So are you going to cast yon spell?
Yep.
All right. I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Ooh. Can I tell you what I rolled?
If you were going to use the ring, you have to declare it before you make the roll. Or not the ring.
No, I'm asking you, can I tell you that I rolled a 19 as my saving throw?
Oh, yes, you can. Yes,
Excellent. I rolled a 19 as my saving throw, plus wisdom is 6, so a 25.
25. Okay, you incant the spell, you touch the bridge, and there's a flash in your mind, and you when you open your eyes again, the world around you is encased in mist. You can see your companions at the base of the bridge, but they appear to be frozen. They are moving not at all, or if they all are, they're moving very slowly. Meanwhile, you turn your head back to the bridge and you see two ghostly forms in front of you. One is of a tall, masculine, in his prime elf. And you recognize him actually as Silverin, the elvish father of Tergar and father of Jojandaron.
Oh my gosh. Wait, I've met this guy?
You've seen him from afar. Oh, were you there actually?
He was at the
Nope.
wedding.
If he was at my wedding.
was
then
at the wedding.
Oh yeah, he was at the
He was at
wedding.
the
Yes,
wedding.
that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Okay.
Yeah, and you'd certainly know of him. He travels in the same circles you do.
So he's
Um,
there?
In this vision that you seem to be having, he is there, and his form is ethereal. It is misty, and definitely out of step with the sort of normal looking forms of the people that continue to walk across the bridge, but in this slow motion. But he and this other form of a young elvish woman are facing each other on the bridge, and he has his hands locked around her throat, and her eyes are bugging out as she is holding on to his hands, and he has a look of madness in his face. And sure, one of her hands reaches out to his face and claws at his face. But then, as this is happening, and you're shocked, aghast at what you're seeing here, but
Tell me about it.
Eventually, well, I shouldn't tell you how you feel. Maybe this is just entertainment. Eventually her body goes lifeless, and as he removes his hands, her body falls over the side and falls into the water. And as you watch, the vision fades, the mist poofs apart, and the world resumes its speed.
Wow.
And that's kind of what Jeb and Corco relate in a bit more gruff and masculine. Yeah, there was a bit of a thing there with some elves on that bridge. And she fell to her death.
Oh.
Whoa.
Pardon me. Did Jeb and Corco mention that it was my father?
They did not. They just say it was a thing with some elves.
Wow.
About how many years ago?
Well, the bridge was just finished, I think. It was a big do. Some people were coming in for a bit of a celebration to commemorate the new bridge. So I think that was about 30, 35 years ago. We were both working on the sea at that point. But we came back for the party. It was something. I think ever since that day, actually, I've heard that tale about elves can't cross that bridge. Weirdest thing.
As they casually sip Merlot.
As they casually sip Merlot, as they would, yeah.
Wow, Andrew.
So how about Neem and I tell the rest of the group about this?
Well,
Fill in each
Nim
other's
at
blanks.
first, does Joe John come up to around the bridge to see her on the bridge?
You just let me know if
Yeah,
Joe
'cause, like,
John, Ron, and
Nim's
Turgo
like-
want to come up on that bridge.
Nim is just kind of like still buckled over after seeing this, and she kind of looks over. And are they over there? Like, can she see them, or did Jojo go down to talk to the fisherman?
Well, I think so. Jeb and Corco are underneath the bridge. Glonda, of course, is unaffected by anything related to this bridge, so she could be right there with you if she wants. As for Terragar, I don't know where he is. Dan, where is Terragar?
I'm at the foot of the bridge.
Okay,
At the foot of the bridge. So
Tergar,
Yes.
come to me, please come to
Oh,
me.
Okay.
I'm at the bridge going.
So do I need to do I need to do a constitution
sure do.
at disadvantage apparently, which
Nope. Yeah, it's just regular.
Oh,
you're
because
he's-
I'm half. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that was her testing to see if she actually broke the curse.
I'm puking.
Clearly, she didn't.
What's your total?
Well, 4 plus my constitution, you said?
Your Constitution bonus, yeah.
Uh,
Oh no,
Yeah.
it's a Constitution saving throw. So whatever, maybe you got your proficiency on that.
so not the bonus, but the actual.
Saving throw.
The saving throw, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't get an advantage on that, so it's just
No.
+2.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Plus 2. So 6.
No, that's not enough. You hork up your breakfast. Just like Nimrod.
And Nim curses in Elven just a multitude of curses.
I'm such a kid. I
Which-
laughed so hard at that part.
Which should tell you, of course, Brooke, that your remove curse spell did not work.
That's right. It didn't
But it revealed some very interesting information,
But it didn't.
potentially.
work.
Has Dan not tried to do his lift magic? thing?
Well,
No.
this was going to be, we're going to let Brooke try this first, and then I
Yeah.
will try mine next.
So
yeah.
so Glonda hopefully kind of takes her two half elven and elven friends and like limps them back to the appropriate side of the bridge, which is across it or back the same way we came. Let's be clear.
It
here.
depends where you want to go.
I
I'm
think we're going to
delighted
go and get the boat situation figured
That'd be
out.
on the same side of the bridge that we started the day at, because I think that
Okay.
guy's house, I would assume, would be in Rich Man's Row there.
Okay,
so-
beautiful.
It
So
is
that-
on Rich Man's
that
Row.
way
That's
then.
right.
Or
You
Rich
know it to
Person's
be-
Row, I should say.
It is Lassiter House, which is just down about 5 houses to the south of yours.
But we're not going there just yet. Are you revealing it? So I help you back.
Yeah.
Are you?
So is Jojo with us yet? At this
Yeah,
point, has he
Jojo's there,
walked
but
out
he
He's
the
just
door?
probably
right
knows
there,
better to
yeah.
cross that damn bridge. So
Yeah.
I'm
So
gonna wait. As soon as Nima's about to reveal it, I'm gonna spill
perfect.
all the beans that I learned.
Excellent.
Interrupter.
Excellent.
And then I'm gonna say, but that's it. There's no other big twist involved. We just know that there was 2 random elves involved in some sort of kerfuffle on the bridge, and that's about it.
Joe John, thank you for confirming what I saw when I was attempting
What
to
did you
break
see?
this curse. Well,
Did
when
you
I
see
attempt,
something?
I did.
Oh,
And it's excellent to hear that what I saw was not a fabrication or some type of a devious thing. You have is confabulation the right thing? You
Yeah.
confabulated what I
you
said?
sure do.
well, I didn't.
No, but what have you done? You didn't confabulate with me. You
No, I
You-
confirmed.
can. No, there's a word though when we both support the same. Anyway, that's what you did. You were supportive of the thing I found, which is that not only did an elven male suffocate and kill an elven female and launch her, already dead, over this bridge.
Wait. It's corroborate.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Oh, that was going to kill me. That was going
3
to
a.m.
kill
There's
me.
a
It's
text to
like,
all of us from Brooke. Corroborate.
corroborate. You're corroborating the story. Oh,
Yes.
fabulous.
Anyway, how about we go get a bite to eat, huh?
No. There's more. There's more, Jojo. Jojo and Tergar, this is incredibly important for you to hear.
Oh.
The male elf that murdered the young elven female.
I'm eating
Was
popcorn right now. I'm like,
none other than your shared father.
what?
What?
Yes,
Well.
it's true. I recognized him because he came to my weddings, and I have very good memory.
Timurtikos?
What?
But it works. It works.
My father figure.
What did you say?
No, I'm speaking about your blood father, darling.
My blood father.
Do the sound again, Andrew.
Yeah, do it again.
My
Do it
blood
again.
father.
Good.
Wait a minute. We share a father?
It's real. You do.
Maybe. I forget what the resolution was with that.
You do.
Wait. I'm out of popcorn.
Here's a croissant instead. Great.
I have the sound turned off, so I have no idea what you guys are doing.
Oh, you gotta turn it up. It's out.
Rule of threes. It's good.
That's funny.
Yep.
Should also add, of course, that there is some discrepancy about Jordan's father.
Right.
But whether or
Yes,
not
we
that's
knew
common
this from the
knowledge or not.
past, so it's not.
So it's for sure Targar's father, but it could or couldn't be Jojo's. But I know, but he's a father.
Silverian doesn't believe he is. Yeah.
Right. So we're now. Just a second. The music's coming in my wrong headphones, and that's very frustrating. There we go. So I attempted to remove the curse, and all I saw was this vision, and yet the curse has not been removed. So
I'm just
perhaps we might
wondering-
need to find this woman's body or spirit
yes.
or your own father to end this curse, because someone is clearly still attaching their curse to this place.
It may just be that we'll have to kill him. Or ask him information. One of the two.
That's interesting because I can now transform into aquatic life. So I could do some investigating in fish form. Should I try dispel magic before, just for shits and giggles here?
Maybe do it when we have to cross the bridge, because it sounds like it's only going to last for
Okay.
a time, which is vague, as Jojo has made clear.
Did you see? Did you see which side he dropped her from? Oh, which side of the bridge he dropped?
You did. He dropped her off the south side of the bridge.
The south
There's a
side.
little
And
precipice there
and that
behind.
water flows out, right? This is
Does.
okay.
Yes. To
So
the sea.
she would not necessarily have landed at the bottom. So I might have to do a rather. I wonder.
And it was
but there's
30 plus years ago.
yeah, but maybe I'll
ask,
find skeletal remains, perhaps.
Can we quickly ask our fisherman friend if they recovered the body?
Yeah, good. Yes.
Do they know? Good question.
I'll run down to the base.
You run back. Corco, who never really says anything, pops up and says, "Nope, body was never found."
Should I? Am I wasting my time? It's not going to be
No.
that simple.
I think we want to see you become a fish anyway.
I definitely want to see you become a fish. Can you
But
become a
we-
sturgeon though? Because those are so big.
Yeah,
I
was gonna
can't
say,
just yet. I
can
am
you be a
so
sturgeon?
sorry, guys. I'm just a regular small size fish right now, or crocodile.
Go croc.
Well, how long did I stay underwater? They're not. Yeah, I guess they're pretty strong swimmers. Eh, the crocs.
They sure are.
Yeah.
They
I'll
can't
also,
breathe underwater.
but then I don't want anyone to attack me as a croc. Oh, then I might get caught as a fish. I'll go crocodile.
I'll tell Corcos and his friend his fisherman friend
Yeah.
not to catch any fish. for
I'm
the
doing
next
it
few
in the
minutes.
open. Hey, it's no surprise. I'm a druid and I'm about to do this, everybody. Don't worry,
Oh,
I won't eat you.
Jojo. Nim's tapping Jojo on the side. She kind of like hurried down after him. Have they heard any more about their friend who perished in partial pieces?
I'll ask them.
For the record, it was not partial pieces. It was one full body piece.
Well,
That was an improper
so they
description on my
say.
part.
So they say.
The stories have confabulated since then. True.
They've been corroborated.
They have not been corroborated for sure.
Fellas, any word on the dead body that was found in the reeds?
Nope.
Thanks.
But haven't seen any more lately.
That's good.
That said, it's only been 2 days. You know,
And that was
anything can
a
happen.
male body that we saw, correct?
Was.
Yeah, okay.
It was. It was identified as a crewman on a ship. It makes a regular stop here, but it had left, and he had been known to be not the best crewman, not the best sailor. So when the ship left, it's possible that they left without him on purpose. But he missed the boat, literally. So he was kind of just sort of killing time until the boat came back.
Check that, by the way. I'm not going to turn into a crocodile because it takes
Oh,
up too
okay.
much of my hit points.
Right.
I'm
Also,
going to just turn
Tergar-
into a catfish.
You're doing this before
Okay.
we do the bridge? Yes. Yes, you are.
Yeah, because we're
And
only going to
then
do that once I
used my really good portent for the bridge as well, but I can try to help you with your dispel magic and help with your incantation to give you an advantage roll. If
Yeah,
You
I
can
think
also
through-
give some
No,
bardic
that wouldn't work.
inspiration.
touch. Yeah, there we go.
Bardic
Bardic
inspiration will
inspiration.
work. Yeah.
I can give bardic inspiration, Dan, for you to turn into a catfish. If you need my help making a new online profile, I can find some pictures of a really hot babe for you.
Yes.
Very nice.
Go on. So I'm going to turn into a catfish because I was a smallmouth bass last time and I need to mix it up and show
Sure.
lots of love to the different types of fish in the world. So I'm going into the water and poof, I'm now a catfish.
Excellent. So you swim around. How long are you going to wait for Tergar in his swim quest?
And I'll just tell you what I would have said this before going into the water. I'm going to do a thorough search. I'm not just going to check under the bridge. I'm going to go down river and check that bay and see if Andrew, actually,
Big
when I get
amount of
down,
river.
well, what's the bottom?
So it's fairly deep.
Yeah, I'm a fish.
You're a fish, but you're not like a shark or something like.
Oh, that deep.
It's maybe about at the river. Sorry, at the bridge, it's probably about 30 feet deep.
Okay.
But as you go further south, it definitely bottoms right out. Like it's quite either it's been dredged so that ships of greater draw can.
Is it a
can
muddy
come up into
bottom?
this
Is it a
area.
rocky bottom? Is it
Silty with some rocks, but the water is fairly fast flowing, so not anything larger. Like there are no small bits and pieces here. If it's here, it's probably a big stone. So I guess probably not so much in the way of silt then either. Probably
so
a
it's the
sandy.
current
rock.
is very strong where I am.
It's fairly strong.
Okay, so could I follow the current to see if there is a place where the current sort of, if there's where it dies down? Like I it's kind of weird searching this. I know it's a needle in the haystack, but I think it's worth a look. If there's anything.
Well, let's have
and
you
I
roll
probably-
a perception check.
Yeah, sure.
But it will be a disadvantage. So
Why?
Let's see. Because
Oh, shoot, that's one.
Oh,
And
can I cancel that out with my inspiration?
you can roll the other die and see if you want to use bardic inspiration. So
I
you've got a
want
12 right now.
to use
You'd add
bardic
your-
add my perception. Oh, wait a minute.
Yep.
No, I won't use your bardic inspiration. So I'm getting a 20.
Maybe.
Because you have +8 perception.
I have +8 perception.
Okay. So I will come back to my original question. I love that Christine and Brooke are both talking to people off camera, which is marvelous.
They're talking to each other. They're in the
It
same
looked like they were
house.
talking to each other.
We were just talking to each other all as well.
That's right. I love the cross
Sorry.
table talk. No, it's fine. So how long do you want to sit around and wait for him, or do you want to go off and do something else while he's doing?
I think we're
All
happy to
day.
sit. Yeah, I'm happy to sit and wait.
All
I'm happy
day.
to
Go get more
read.
breakfast.
I'm desperately poring over the book of unknown language, trying to get information from it, eating croissants.
You guys could go to Lassiter.
Nope.
No, I'm
Okay,
happy to just
fair.
sit here and like polish my sword and go through my explorer's pack and fold
Read.
everything up.
Maybe read some bit,
Okay.
a little
Yeah.
bit.
It is still drizzling and gray and kind of
Oh,
not
Christine,
nice out.
don't you have like a thing you can cast?
Yeah. Would you guys like to stay with me in Liamon's tiny hut?
That'd be great. Super into that idea.
So this is
Christine,
my
Explain to the people what Lehman's tiny hut does.
it would be my honor. I'm going to create a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force around and above me and my friends, because 9 creatures of medium size or smaller, which is well less than us, or well more, can fit inside. And within the dome, I don't think no one can see us. Right?
You look it up now.
I think we're hidden.
Yeah, we're hidden. Creatures and objects within the dome, when you cast a spell, can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. The atmosphere inside the dome is comfortable and dry regardless of the weather outside. Until the spell ends, we can command the interior to become dimly lit or dark, the dome opaque from the outside, or any color we choose, but it is transparent from the inside.
Cool. So where are you casting it, and what color will it be?
Ooh. Do we want to be near the bridge? Friends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to stay
Okay,
on one
this
end
will-
of the bridge.
There's a little parquet next to the bridge there.
Yeah, there's this little,
Um,
maybe this little area here. It's a little patchy.
That would be on the other side of the bridge.
Okay, then we'll do this one then. Right?
Perfect. Okay, so you chill in the tiny hut. Meanwhile, Dan,
And the color is going to match the red roof of all
Nice.
the houses here.
Cute.
So it's a little bit hidden.
Okay, so Jojandron polishes his sword. Nimralian pours over the book with the unknown language, and Galanda. What does Galanda do during this little interregnum? Things.
I don't need to heal or nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna read about my college application.
Gonna go through that in literature one more time. Think if
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all in.
Yeah.
All right. So meanwhile, Tergar swims around as a catfish. The area around the lizard's boat. Here,
Yeah.
I'll even invite the audience to see what we're seeing, because. So the area around the lizard's boat is out of the current. So it forms a natural eddy where things sort of swirl and stay in there. Long story short, you spend an awful lot of time searching for anything out of the ordinary. You find a startling number of bodies, skeletal remains down in here.
By the
if you were
lizard's
looking
boat.
Well, it seems that maybe they have collected. You don't know.
Yeah,
Or maybe
it
they
makes
haven't
sense.
tossed
Yeah.
off the lizard's boat, but you kind of you don't lose count, but you have difficult time counting because It is murky here, like the silt does sort of continuously make it hard to see, but you come up against more than one skeleton, and in some cases a weighted corpse.
Any of these look like elven,
In terms of their garb, perhaps.
or they're I'm assuming elves would have a slightly different bone structure to humans or other humanoid type creatures.
I will let you make a medicine check, and I warn you, it will not be easy.
When is it ever, Andrew, with you? All right, hold on. So this will be a 6. No, that's a 7. This will be a 12.
That's a big difference.
Well,
You
it looked like
cannot
it looked
tell.
like a 7. Sorry, the 7 looked like a 1, but it was a 7
Oh,
and
I
plus
see.
5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you can't tell what type of bones these are. They because you're using your fishy eyes, and it's dark down there. And
What happens if I just keep rolling my medicine check until I like the roll?
until you like the roll, well, some time will have passed.
I'm joking.
for
I'm just
you.
joking.
So
You don't
so
actually have to answer
time
that.
passes while you are doing that.
Okay.
It's a legit question, but the legit
When-
answer is time passes while you investigate.
Okay. So nothing there. I'm still continuing to look around, or
Yeah, I mean, once you get out into more of the channel, like around the Flounder Pounder and further south, you detect a little, like there's certainly no bodies. There's the remains of a small rowboat.
yeah.
There's garbage. People, if they have
Sure.
stuff they don't want, they would just jump it in the water. But yeah, the collection of bodies is probably the biggest
By
reveal.
the
you get
and
from
that's
your
by the
perception.
lizard's boat.
Yeah, I'll actually
Not
put
the
a little
flounder
mark
pounder.
where
But the lizard's
Nope, it's
boat,
in
that
between,
little
actually.
bay.
it
Okay.
is on the green mark. In the no, why is it? Oh, it's all wrong. Hold on, and it's hidden too, so you probably can't see it. Here, I'll make it a red. Oh, I'll make it an orange mark. There we go. And hide it. Update. So it is the orange mark there.
Why
And
am I
what,
down by
what,
the
what,
flounder
how, what's the
pounder?
depth of the water here, Andrew?
Maybe 20 feet. It's quite the drop off from the shore.
Do not have 34 hit points. It's weird.
Okay.
But yeah, one of those bodies you can tell is being weighed down with some kind of weight, and is tied by its feet, and its arms have been tied behind its back, and it's floating upwards, like it's only down here because it's being weighed down.
Does it look like it happened recently?
Yeah, it's still got clothes and flesh on its body.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Welcome to your polite and respectful town.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess that's it, right? For my exploration?
Yeah,
Is there
it's
more
taking
that you were...
Yeah, well, I'm going to say it's taking you about 4 hours to do this tour, and there was certainly nothing near. Like, I imagine you spent a lot of that at the base of the shark fin bridge to see if you could
Yeah.
find anything. You don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you said you wanted to do a wider exploration. And
Yeah, that makes sense. In fact, that's kind of the area I was thinking too, right? I could see stuff getting trapped in there, between like the flounder pounder where it is. That makes sense. Yeah, I like that.
Cool. So perhaps you emerge wet and dripping from the water, and you see this contraption near where your friends were that you've not seen before. It is a kind of tawny red.
Can I describe something though?
Please.
As I launch myself out of the water as a catfish and start flopping like a fish because I can't breathe, but then I transform back into Tergar, and I just start, because I've got that long, beautiful white hair, I just start, and I'm hoping that someone's paying attention as I'm doing this, because I feel pretty cool.
Jeb and Corco are fishing, and they watch you as you eject from the water.
Now, how does he work with his clothes?
It's magic.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not like in
I-
Twilight, how
I
when
like to
they
think
turn
that-
into wolves, they're naked.
Definitely not like that. Yeah.
I like to
More
think
like
that I
the
have fitting
The
clothes
Incredible
that
World
fits
of
the animal.
Alexander.
So it was
Alex.
exactly right. So my fish would have had a little green leather looking outfit on.
Cute.
Yeah,
with
pretty
the shillelagh at its side. Yeah.
little shillelagh. Piece of coral. All right. So I'm gonna wait, I can't see them. Where are they?
You see a weird red semicircle, 10 feet in diameter, opaque from the outside.
Hello? But how do I get in this thing? Hello? Guys? Guys? Are you in
see
this thing?
Turgar outside. It's transparent for you.
Is it?
Oh,
it's, I think.
Turgar's back.
Hello? Oh
I
my
wonder who
god.
he's looking for.
Oh my god. Look at
Glonda,
this.
Glonda.
Mhm.
Something has happened to them. I left. I
Isn't
shouldn't
that
have
the-
left them.
Guys,
Oh my
fish guys?
god.
guys, this
Oh
is
my
the
god, they're
only
gone.
time
What
we can
demon
talk
has taken
shit about Tergar.
that
Could've done this while he
supposed to
was
be a
away
portal
as
to
a
the
fish.
cigarette. I should have known better.
But now
Okay.
maybe we'll know his true feelings about us.
I
Maybe he'll
didn't-
be honest right now.
I didn't
I see.
know that this was gonna happen. I mean, who do I think I am? I'm gonna go and find the body of this ancient elf that died, probably killed by my dad. No, I'm not gonna find that. And then I turn around and my friends are gone. This orb has taken them. Oh God. Oh well. At least they could have done is left me some other items. I don't even get that. I get nothing out of this. This is terrible. No memento, no keepsake, but I do have their memory.
He just seems to be rambling.
I have their memory in my heart and in my mind, and I will tell the story. I hate storytelling. I hate communicating with people, but I will do it. I will do it if that will keep them alive, if in memory alone. Oh, God bless you, Glonda. God bless you, Nimmerlian, and God bless you, my sweet dear brother Joe, John, Geron. Oh.
And Norman.
He's
Well,
not.
Norman's, yeah.
Don't forget Norman.
Could you say that coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we walk out and go, what
What?
about Norman?
I thought, Jojo, is this your spirit or is this actually you?
Both.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Well, do
okay.
I feel the fool?
We were just cowering in Glonda's cavern.
It was
Oh.
my Liamon's tiny hut.
It was
This
Turgar
is
Island
Liamon's
cozy.
tiny hut.
It
I've
was
heard
so
much
nice.
about Liamon's tiny hut.
It was
Oh,
my little Liamon's tiny hut.
I pictured it being more like a wooden cabin, not
Oh,
a
you-
sphere that I wouldn't actually be able to see. Well, don't I feel like a fool?
You looked like one.
You should have seen me come out of the water. It
I
was
did.
so cool. What, you did?
Yeah.
And?
Not bad. I was surprised
Dang.
about the clothes though.
Gang, I was thinking we need to regroup a bit. What are we doing next?
Let me tell you something what I found in the water.
Oh yeah.
I found a body. No, wait. Several dozen bodies. And they're just down by
Oh.
they're just down by the lizard's boat. Yeah, but one of them could be the body that is cursing this bridge, and I feel like there's perhaps we should be pulling these bodies up somehow.
Well, I do have water breathing.
Yeah, and I could take you down in my. You could ride my back. I could turn into a
Can we
crocodile.
do it another day? We've been dawdling a lot, and I feel like Jojo, and I agree with Jojo. Let's get something done today, you know?
Wouldn't bringing bodies up from a river be something?
I
Well,
mean,
What's your confidence level that this was the elven girl?
Well, I don't know, but I will tell you this much too. One of the bodies looked like it had just been murdered. It was bound, it had weights on it, and I don't know, maybe if we wait too long, maybe that body will be gone. And maybe this is connected with that body that you and I found, Jojo, up by upriver there.
Am I crazy, or do you think that if we're pulling corpses out of the water, we should maybe wait till nighttime? Just might be a little weird.
Or we make it official, we get the town watch involved, so we're not seeming criminal in any way.
Or I'll
Well,
make another tiny hut.
I guess
let
my question
Anders
is,
know.
what mysteries are a priority right now?
I've boat.
Let's go. Okay, so let's go do boat. But
Yeah.
let's
Okay.
put a pin in this one because I really think that there's something to it. Yes.
What's the boat mystery?
Someone tampered
Um,
with my boat and I don't know who did it, but
Let's just list
I don't
them
think
all
we're
right
I
now.
don't think we're gonna figure out. Oh, you brought out your quill. Great. I don't
Okay.
think we're gonna find who done it. We thought it might be Kaladar. It might still be. He did not let anything go and convince us otherwise. Very good.
Okay,
But we
boat.
have to go to Lassiter and
To
ask
see if you
for
can
a
get another
potential
boat.
new
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah.
To
Who
replace.
cares
what's
about the
number
old
two?
boat if we can get a new boat? Let's go to Lassiter's.
Hold on. Let's get a list of these mysteries.
Okay, right corpse next.
Corpse.
Which
well,
one?
2 corpses.
Yeah, 2 corpses.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
really can't
demon?
read that.
Demon.
Demon.
Yeah.
Demon dreams.
Demon.
Demon dreams.
We've got a lot
Do you have
going
a
on.
Sharpie, Jordan?
Yeah. How about I get a Sharpie?
Yeah.
It's actually good that we, because there's a lot of loose ends here.
There are a few things, yes.
Nem, you were talking about some things earlier too. You
Yes,
will
I
remember
was.
these better.
Oh,
Or are they
bridge.
still the bridge? Yes, the bridge mystery.
The Sea Princes.
What's the Sea Princes?
They're the pirates that got really rich because they stole a lot of things and they call themselves sea princes, but really they're pirates.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
Okay, and then there's the Red Scarlet
Sahagin?
Brotherhood. The Scarlet
Oh,
Brotherhood.
yeah. Who's
I don't
behind
know what
that?
is.
That's Kadoric or whatever
They're
his name is.
smugglers, right? They're smugglers, right?
No, they're known as if you were to ask somebody about the Scarlet Brotherhood, first of all, they'd look at you funny, like, why would you want to know about them? They're just evil. They would be known as more like spies and intriguers.
We wrote master smugglers next to their name, but I'll put spies.
And did the council want us to do anything else?
Not yet. They are very appreciative, and I think I went over all
Oh.
the money part previously. They're very appreciative of your work with the lizard folks.
Clarigan gave
as
us
for right now,
a treasure map, didn't he? Someone gave us Clarigan sold us a map for 160 gold.
he sure did. This was the map that Harlegane had made before his untimely murder, documenting the places that Jack Terrigali had taken the Wyvern.
Yeah.
Did we end up that? Did we close the loop on that, though, didn't we?
No, because we have to find the Wyvern.
Right. We haven't found the Wyvern yet.
No, that's the biggest. I think that's the
That's
end
boat?
goal is fighting
That's boat.
Jack. That's boat.
Because we need to get boat so we can go get the Wyvern.
We need to get mini boat to go and fight
mega boat.
mega boat.
Okay, so boat and treasure map are linked.
Yes.
But I thought
Yeah.
that was another treasure map.
There is
No?
another this is the original map that Rardath had that he found, that he assumed Jack Terrigali was killing him over, basically. So, but he gave Jack another fake map, and you have the original map, which points to a small island south of Jetsam Island to the east. That is indeed a separate map.
Okay.
So that is a treasure map. The other map, the Harlegane's map, is the one plotting the destinations that Jack has made further and further away towards ultimately Fairwind Isle.
But okay. Sea Princes and Scarlet Rose. Do you think they're related?
No, they're not. And that don't forget about the sea. When you mentioned the Sea Princes, don't forget about the Sea Devils, which are the people that are the Sahagin that are upsetting
The lizard
the
folk.
lizard folk.
We've closed the
that is
lizard
a-
folk loop, though.
No,
Not-
the
no.
Sea Devil part.
Not the Sea Devil part.
So-
No,
Jeez.
that's right.
So I think you could leave Sea Devils on your list, but the Scarlet Brotherhood and the Sea Princes are not really something you're
Okay,
ever going
cross
to do
those
anything
off,
about.
Jojo.
Yeah.
Cross them right off.
Okay.
Woo! Look at us. We're working. We're getting stuff done.
Should
Boom!
we go?
2 things
Now-
off the list right away.
I got a question here because the demon destroyed our other ship, right? Of
Oh, don't forget about the dead
And we
body.
don't know that.
course.
We don't
it's
know.
times
We,
2.
we do
Oh,
not know
perfect.
who destroyed our ship. We know that it was,
We knew there was magic involved.
yeah,
Yes.
and was
Definitely magic involved.
And
magic involved.
okay. But someone's trying to sabotage us.
Someone
Yes.
is. Yeah, they're trying to sabotage us for sure.
And remember the imp. Oh, put the imp in as well. The imp
Oh,
that
we
was
had an imp
following
that-
us.
That was we think Kaladek's imp, right?
Perhaps.
He has not
But
admitted to that. Imp
No, but
chicanery,
bad people admit
So
to
we,
their bad
we assume
deeds.
that demon and imp are probably related.
No.
Not- They could be, but not necessarily.
No, but we think so because we think Kaladek is responsible for the imp, and we have a feeling that the demon has been controlled by some sort of magical wizard figure.
Had we concluded that? I didn't know we concluded.
Well,
Well,
it was a thinking. It was
It's
a
an
thinking.
idea. It's a concept. They
Yes.
could be linked. I'm trying to draw
Yes.
connections here.
Yes. Yes,
We
that's
should be,
yes,
I
that's
think
a possible
Jordan. I
connection.
think we should switch from doing a point form list to a mind map.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you're
right.
probably right.
Yeah, you're All right.
What's our mission statement? What's our why?
I think
What's
I just
our
want to
why?
circle
Freedom.
back. If we can all just circle back to the
Oh,
original
God.
point for the beginning
We
of this
need a
meeting.
boardroom.
Okay, so we got the bridge here. We've kind of reached a dead end with the bridge unless we.
Major dead end.
I don't
have
think
no
I don't think we
flippin'-
have. I think the bodies could be connected. I just think
I don't know.
it's
The
possible.
DM when he's got a glint in his eye, we know that we're getting somewhere close, and he pretty much was like, "It's never happening. Goodbye."
That's true
What?
too, right?
Oh yeah, your eyes tell
did I
tales.
glint
It might
like
just be a
that?
funny
You
thing he's making
told
us
tales.
do every time we cross. You're right. You're not. You could be right. It could be a red herring.
What happened to us the night before we had the demon dream? Where were we? What were we up to?
The lizards.
We
were
just
back
found
to
home
That's
the
the
from the
lizards.
Luke
lizards.
Claire.
Maybe the Ent did it.
Well, what if someone's trying to sabotage us trying to get the wyvern back?
You think Jack is
I-
in line with Grits?
Can I tell you what I? Can I tell
It
you
just
what I
seems to
think?
me that boat is the dominant one here, and so we could link all this back to boat because
No,
that's what we're here for.
I really would prefer a mind map to make this statement, but I agree with you. I do think that boat is the center issue.
Let me
I
throw-
support that conclusion.
This idea out there that the boat is the most immediate thing that we can potentially solve, but I suspect the boat will be the vessel that will lead us to the actual mystery and problem, which is this confrontation with this demon, which would connect all our dreams that we've been having potentially that predate our coming here, and then the ones we most recently had.
Oh, because I thought that JoJo was going to kill you, and
Right, but even I had this dream where I saw my druid friend there. I can't
Yeah.
remember her name, and but there was this evil
Lady
force coming
Tolliver.
up. Lady Tolliver. There was an evil force coming into the land. I think there's a more epic backdrop to this story that we will. But I feel like we need to get the wyvern first.
Glonda.
Hmm.
Thoughts?
I would like us to get the boat from Lassiter to start the mission to get the wyvern finally. If at least let's go speak to Lassiter if Lassiter can offer it to us now, because otherwise we were waiting for weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe this is our opening because I feel like a lot of the other things will fall into place.
Yes, I agree.
yeah,
as
gave us
part
lots of
of
side
this.
quests to like level us up before it was time to.
Yeah, but now the ship
meta
was,
there,
was
but-
botched. So I feel like let's at least see if Lassiter can give us a boat now, or if
All
we'll
right,
have
we've
to
got
wait
7
another few
minutes.
weeks.
Let's go get this boat from Lassiter.
I think it seems to me that all of these could be connected,
Yes.
but
I agree.
it's
We
both.
should have like a cork board with like strings.
yeah, I need some red yarn.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But I agree
blurry
with Wanda, we got to
photographs.
start going for boat, and then
Do you have a highlighter that might be able to help highlight the importance of boat?
Sorry.
Do you have a highlighter that could highlight the importance of boat?
Yeah, I do.
Excellent.
Let's have the camera follow our party as it wanders back down towards Rich Person Row, and you end up at the Lassiter house.
Thank you for
Just
letting
a
us
little
do
bit-
that, DM.
Of course.
That was good.
It's no, listen, that list of all the plot points is gold, let me tell
Yeah,
you.
that was really good. I'm glad we did that.
Can you take a picture of it and then we can put it into our notes?
Good.
I'll send it to
you
Al,
don't want
see if he
to just
understands.
He's missed some stuff.
You approach the Lassiter house, a fine mansion as stately as it is classic. Gargoyles perch on its eaves and lightning rods jut from its rooftops. A coat of arms over the gate depicts a crossed dagger on a field of gold. Oh, a dagger and key on a field of gold. And again, it's spritzing, it's drizzling as you approach, so you're a little bit wet. But, it's a fine day in Saltmarsh for all other intents and purposes. You arrive, you ring the gong at the door, and you're greeted by a servant, clearly also graduated from the School of Servility. He says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Ah, you must have gone to the Emporium of Servitude.
Yes, graduated 71. The alma mater lives strong.
Exceptional.
Minds to serve.
We're looking for Lord Lassiter.
Yes. And whom shall I say is calling?
The heroes. He'll know whom.
Yes, precisely. One moment, please.
Yes,
And he disappears
precisely.
inside. And returns but a few moments later, and he says, "Lord Lassiter will gladly see you. Please follow me." And you are brought inside, your outer wet garments. He offers to take them for you if you wish to part with them.
Sure.
And you're brought into he brings you upstairs actually to Egan Lassiter. His first name is Egan. You get that. And you're brought into his study, where he rises to greet you as you enter. And you recall him being very gruff in the council chambers, very resistant to some of the ideas and not very pleasant. But there seems to be a different man in front of you now, as he warmly rises, a big grin on his face, and he says, how nice of you to to visit me. I'm so happy to have you here. Please have a seat. Morgenstern, please find some beverage and some drinks for our guests. His name's going to be Morgenstern.
I would
Thank
like
you,
some
Lord
coffee
Lassiter.
equivalent, please, Morgenstern.
He says, "Yes, certainly, sir." And he sort of gives that glance which says, "And the rest of you would like?"
Lemon water, please.
Mead, some warm mead, perhaps.
Any digestive biscuit equivalent?
Wine?
Oh, absolutely, of course. So
Loaf of
yes, a
bread.
lemon water, mead, a wine, and a coffee equivalent, and some digestive biscuits coming right up. And he pitter patters out of the room.
Some tray with some meats. It could be dry cured. Thank you, Morgenstern. Mordecai. Thank you.
Lord Lassiter, what has you in such a good mood? The last time we saw you, if you don't mind me saying, you were not.
Sorry, Morgenstern.
Mm.
Sparkling water.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can make this work. He's over here. Yeah?
Sparkling water, Morgenstern. Thank you.
he bounces off to get some sparkling water as well as coffee equivalent. Okay, so Lord Lassiter's council chambers always makes me grumpy. I'm sorry that you had to see that, but when I learned that you had returned with such good news and tidings with the lizard folk, it put me in good spirits to know that our town is safe from an impending threat. But please make yourselves comfortable. What brings you here? What can I do for you?
She looks over to Glonda. Yeah.
I was wondering if you could help us out. Not sure if you're aware, but I had a ship that was being worked on at the shipyard with Morlock, and it was almost ready to go, and we were about to go on this grand adventure to seek back my rightful ship, the Wyvern. After my dear Captain Rascatan passed away tragically.
Yes, tragic.
But the ship that was getting worked on for us and that we were going to have was sabotaged. That night,
Sabotaged.
yes, some magic, something. We're not entirely sure what happened, but we had gone to the dinner with the yesterday evening with
Yes, could not attend.
Lord
Very
Mayor
unfortunate. Hope you had a good time.
Timurtikos. Oh, it was wonderful. It was honestly, the food was delicious. But Lord Timurtico told us that you could possibly let us.
Say Anders.
It was Anders?
I think, yeah.
Oh, the note says.
Oh, really? I thought it was Anders.
Timurtico.
Pardon me. Didn't mean to interrupt. Also, no.
That
You
perhaps we could use your ship at our disposal. So we just wanted to check in and see if it was a possibility that we could borrow your ship in the meantime while as ours was sabotaged.
Well, he gets a bit of a scowl on his face and he leans back and he thinks, yes, it would be my pleasure to give you a ship to put at your disposal for this great quest of yours. Now this is to recover your own vessel, the Wyvern.
Correct.
Is it not?
Yes.
Oh, I see. Well, I have a number of ships at my disposal that I could, in recompense for the service you have offered the town, I could gladly put at your disposal for some time. The only thing I would need to know in order to put you in the right ship is where you intend to go. Do you need to cross the ocean? Do you need to go just down the coast?
Great question.
I was looking at the maps, Lord Lassiter. I think we are needing to travel south in the bay and perhaps some of the surrounding islands. Let me see here. Do you need to know exactly where we're going with your ship? I feel like this is
No, not exactly. I just needed an idea to know whether you needed to cross to Greyhawk or you needed to cross to the other side of the bay or just down the coast. If it's just a coastal
show him the map,
ship.
Tergar, and we're attempting to follow the path that the Wyvern was taking for some time. We know what areas it's already visited, and so we have a decent idea of where it still has yet to visit.
Is that Johnson Island that's southeast of us? Could you show us, Andrew, that giant map?
Yeah, I can. Hold on.
It's hard to read that cursive writing small. This is an aside. Could watcher viewer.
Yeah, I can show you a map.
Well, we'll just you know what, Andrew, don't worry.
Yeah.
We tell him we're traveling in those islands to the south.
Yeah,
that general area.
He waves off. He looks at the map that you show him and he says, "Oh, interesting, fascinating." So you just need to go over. He indicates one of the islands. He says, "Well, just a coastal cutter would probably get you wherever you need to go." So and he leafs through some files and he says, "I think this is just in last night actually. He said, this would do you well. I think this is the Lazy Shebok. It's an older vessel, but a good vessel. Captained by the name I will find immediately. He says, captained by Salwis Farstrider." And Glonder recognizes that name.
Farstrider, you say?
Farstrider, yeah. He's not a legend, but you've crossed paths with him. He's a decent and honest and capable seaman. So you had known him as a first mate, but he has clearly risen up to captain his own ship.
And he'll be joining us? He'll be captaining the ship with us?
He says, well, it is his boat, technically. He's an employee of the Lassiter Corporation, but it is his command, and I cannot exactly move him from it, but I can. And he scrawls out a note in impressive writing on a piece of parchment. He says, I can direct him to put the boat at your disposal for, shall we say 4 weeks? Would that be enough time, do you think? Can you do a little mental math about how far it might take you at that far? It might just be enough if you went directly there. It doesn't give you a lot of sort of kneeling about time.
And we need to live out quite a bit. If he came along with us, could we have a little bit more time with the boat?
Oh, well, I would require that he came along with you, my dear. He's
Perfect.
yes.
So
Okay,
4
yes,
weeks.
4
well-
weeks. 4 weeks should be great.
Excellent. So he scrawls a big old Lassiter signature on it, closes it up, puts there's a candle burning. He sort of uses a wax stamp and hands it over to you. Says, if you give this to Salwas, he'll know that it came from me, and the ship will be at your disposal. Now, he's just returned from his last voyage, so he's likely sleeping off last night's reunion at the Drunken Urchin. But you can find him either at his home, which is a hovel in Lowside, or he might still be at the Urchin, for all I know.
And the name of the ship was the Lazy what again?
The Lazy
Ooh.
Shebok.
Thank you.
Aren't most
I will.
Shebox lazy though? Come on. Oh, that-
I'll give you his
Oh,
name
did I get
too.
that right?
What time of day is it now?
I did.
It is probably noon. No, it's not that far because you guys left just after breakfast and you spent 4 hours. No, it's actually probably afternoon, around 1 o'clock.
So it's probably just after breakfast for you then, Brooke.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's probably, that's 8 or so.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, should we end it there then on our successful collection of a ship?
Yes.
I think that is an excellent idea.
Thank you so much,
Well done,
Lassiter.
everybody.
To Lassiter, and we all
Lassiter.
cheers
Lassiter!
our
Yes.
multiple
Morgan
different
Stern
drinks.
comes back with all your beverages and
As
you
we're
make some
leaving?
pleasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you walk.
We just chugged
with
them
pleasant
down.
amount
We'll
of-
stay
go.
for a drink. We'll stay for a drink, but off camera.
But wait, and before
Yeah,
we go, I would
exactly.
love to see if we can. I would love to do a quick perception check and just see how sincere Lassiter's being, because like it is one thing to be like, oh, I was
Ooh.
just having an off night, but it's another thing like he was really quite a jerk at the previous, and now he's being all friendly. So I think Nim would love to do before we go a little perception check, or how do you? Is it perception if you're
You'd-
trying to?
It would be insight, is what you'd be rolling.
Oh, is anybody good at insight?
I'm
'Cause
really good at
I
insight.
shite.
should
Let
have
me-
done a zone of truth. while I had
I'm
the
a
chance.
+8 on insight. So
Okay.
let me
Are
do
you?
that.
What are you? Plus what?
8.
He's +8.
Okay, you beat me.
Zing.
I
All
am
right,
only a 2.
rolly roll.
Hey.
That would
Yeah,
be a
26.
26.
Okay. His demeanor is a little bit forced.
Mm.
You can tell that it is a sincere offer, but you can tell that there's something behind his eyes when he's making it, and you're not sure whether it is it's an extreme emotion of some kind, whether it is just passion or maybe fear or something, but there's a little bit of manic in there, and it's so slight that only you're the one picking up on it. Everyone else is just like, oh, what an animated guy. But there's just something there, like a little too eager to jump to. And you also notice when you let him read the map, it was just a little too quick to sort of pour over the details on it. But maybe was he just being overly helpful, or what was that? There was just something about that, which is also a little bit at odds with, as you noted before, his gruff demeanor at city council. This is not a man you would have assumed would just give something away.
I hate that, by the way.
Me too. And I don't like that he's seen the map and now knows where we're going. But it's a chance to level up.
I played the da 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 sound effect.
Did you hear
Jordan,
that?
Chance to level up.
No.
yeah. All right, that's awesome. So thanks for playing along, everybody, and we will pick this up in 2 weeks. I think is our next
Mhm.
scheduled stop, and one hopes that we have 100% more Al Connors with us at that time. So with that, we'll say adieu for the night. Does anybody want to launch any parting comments before we go?
Dun dun
Auf Wiedersehen.
dun.
That's Wiedersehen. Awesome. Good night.